Hello, ladies, gays, and assorted fools. Today, on Autumn Fruit Reviews, we're looking at the butternut squash. Now, this is going to be a much more extended episode as we're making a very interesting recipe with this squash, and I hope you appreciate it. It will probably force me to actually learn how to do video editing techniques. But in the meantime, let's just get started with the basic characteristics of our fruit du jour. It's a squash, it's long, it's round, it's somewhat large, it's hard. A good squash is hard, and we're just going to be getting right into this little fruit today and seeing what lovely treats she can bring to us. So, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we need to bake the squash. We've got the oven at 350 degrees, right where we want her. So we are going to need to cut the squash down the middle and just sort of bake it. It's a little intensive of a cutting process. As we saw, the squash is very hard, but no match for a strong woman and her knife. Lovely. See all these seeds? These are our friends. We're going to eat them later. But for now, we're just going to cut it right down the center. Lengthwise, as they call it. Got it. Okay. So we've got to get the seeds out now, so I guess we're going to use a spoon for that. Well, why use a spoon? Let's just use our fingers. What's the worst that could happen? Just sort of. Okay, I see why a spoon might be desirable here. This is a lot. Yeah, I'll continue using my fingers for like the real homoerotic portion of the video, but we're going to need a spoon at some point. One sec. Spoon. Scoop them right on out, get all the fibery bits and seeds. Get them out, get them out, get them out. And just for completeness sake, let's get all the seeds out of this too. And voila, we've got the lovely little hollows. Got the excellent receptacle. And now, I wish we hadn't had to cut them like this, but this is so that they actually fit in the pan that we're going to bake them in. So like, the deal with that is just put them in the pan, and then add a ½ inch of water, just glug, 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 and then bake it. So, a lot of things are going to be going in the squash eventually. The first thing is rice. We want this much rice and this much water. That's a cup of rice and a cup and 3/4 of water. Yeah, that. Unlike the way that you usually do rice, I've been told that we should like boil the rice for some number of minutes, so I'm gonna do that. Now, back to the seeds. We've got all these fucking seeds mixed with all the pulp bullshit, so we need to separate that. So the way you do that is with water. So we've got a bunch of water, and if we just put everything in the water, just sort of, yeah. You can see all the seeds can just sort of be separated, and all the orange bits can sort of just be pruned for seeds and then discarded. Very good system. Lets your hands get dirty and squishy like we like. And we just end up with all of the seedy bits and none of the squishy bits. See, the more you just sort of squeeze little pulp things, the more the seeds just sort of slide on out. And now all we've got is seeds. Neat. And now we've got our seeds, too much water, and a colander, so we drain them. Look, seeds. Do note there's like a bunch of stuff that you missed with me just meticulously picking the rest of the orange bits out of the seeds, which you do have to do, and it does take a while, but it's worth it. You need the pulpless seeds. It's good. But let's forget about the seeds for now. Just forget it. Come back to them. Instead, let's focus on other stuff that's going to go inside the squash, like this onion. Let's chop it up. Hello from inside my freezer. This is a good place to come and cry when you have been chopping onions in ways that were a mistake. This helps. The cold helps not cry, be in less pain. This is the correct amount of onion. I mean, it's probably a little bit more. It said like 3/4 of a cup or something, and this is more than that, but like, onions are good. I mean, onions are good. It's like whatever. So now we're gonna take some butter, like a tablespoon of it, melt, melty, 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 onions. And that's exactly where they're supposed to be. Stirry, 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 stirry. Mixy, mixy. Get all the onions and all the butter. And saute for 5 minutes or until translucent. Now the next thing that we're going to need is even more fruit. 1 tart apple. Diced. Goes in the bowl. 1.5 oranges, half oranges. Peel, 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 peel. Peel. Okay, need to take the squash out of the oven. Okay, let's see how that squash is doing. Ooh, lovely smelling friend. The stabby action is pretty good. It could be a little better. Maybe? Unsure. Just sort of try to steal a little bit and eat it. Ow. Ow. Nope. It's good. Okay, back to oranges. And all these go in the bucket too. Now we're going to want 1/4 teaspoon each of cinnamon, and allspice. And then all these fruits just go into the pan. Boop. Yeah, good camera angle? Good camera angle. I can smell the fruity simmers. So at this point, we've
finished this concoction more or less, so now we can start adding it to the rice. Bet you forgot about that, huh?
Sort of.
Meow. And to this mix, we can add some salt and some brown sugar. And that is the good stuff. So now we need to put 2 and 2 together, the squash and the filling. So, flip. Let's just sort of cheat a little and create some more place to put our filling since our squash was very top heavy. So now that we've got our secret squash compartment, we can fill her up. So I'm shocked this is the first time we've made this joke on the Fruit Reviews show, but like there is actually too much filling for our holes. So we're just going to be sort of baking this as a casserole, and it'll still be delicious. It'll still be squash and fruits and rice and various spices. But the aesthetic is a little tarnished.
Well, let's stick it in.
And that'll be another 20 or 30 minutes or so of baking.
We've still got a ways to go, so let's take a quick intermission and have some pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade mix.
Cup. Shake, 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 shake. Water. Pour, 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 pour. Knife. Stir, 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 stir. Back to work.
So the next thing we want is we want to make a sauce for that whole stuffing, casserole, whatever, squash, fruit, rice stuff. We're going to start with orange juice, getting as much juice as we can muster. Then cornstarch, about 2 tablespoons or so. And then whisk. And then we sort of need to add whatever else you want this to taste like. Orange zest. Got that sweet, sweet orange rind. It's not actually sweet at all. And so I thought I had ginger, but I don't, so I'm going to pretend that basil and garlic together constitute some, some sort of culinary equivalent. So we'll see what happens. Honey, salt, pepper, cayenne. I don't know what on earth is going on. I'm just following this recipe, and I would never put all of these things together, but if it's supposed to taste good, I'll let you know how that turns out. Soy sauce. So now we're supposed to put this over heat and bring it to boil while literally never letting up on the whisking, because it's like the cornstarch is gonna come out of solution otherwise. And then we need to just sort of simmer it for a while until it like reduces a little. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna turn out. I see what's going on here. This is interesting. I guess this is what happens when you heat a sauce with cornstarch in it. Huh. Pretty cool. So this is what we got. It's a pretty good sauce, I have to say. Pretty good, huh? Ah. All right, that's good. That is good. Should be done. Whoa. That's pretty good. We still gotta deal with the seeds though. Remember these? The deal is basically we're going to first boil them and then we're going to roast them, and that's going to make the optimal seed for consumption. In the middle we're going to season them a little because we love seasonings around here. We got the water, we got the seeds. Let's just sort of... Seeds are boiling. So now through my further innovations in videography, we're going to see the seeds be poured into the colander. Get drained. You've been boiled, now you're going to be drained. Smells squashy. So we're going to take these seeds, which we've now been nice and dried, and get them onto the drying rack and ready to be toasted and seasoned. First, we're going to need to get them into a little olive oil, so let's just olive oil it up. Oh my god, why is everything so sticky all the time? Now let's foil it up. So I have been preparing this video for the last 2 hours, so I'm going to go straight for broke and just season these with the Creole seasoning for minimum hassle. Easy peasy. Now we commence the toasting, finally. I've been told you gotta be kind of careful about this. It's toast for 20 minutes, but be very, very careful because they will burn very quickly. Meanwhile, this is what's become of our sauce. So I guess the moral of the story is don't fuck with cornstarch. It will fuck you back. Yeah. Okay, and that should be the seeds. So, it is now 1:30 in the morning, and I started recording this around 10:30, 11-ish. So, food prep is hard, especially when you're trying to get good camera angles and everything, and I am so very exhausted. Anything I would have wanted to do in order to make this, like, suggestive or cute ending is just not realistic at this point. This is just actually phenomenal. This is like Actually, so good. The seeds came out really, really good. They're very dry and crunchy and like filled with air, it almost seems, but not overcooked at all. The sauce, even though it did turn into a gelatin, is like actually really good with the rice and everything. And it seems that somehow garlic and basil together does constitute a culinary equivalent for ginger. Tastes good. And the fruit all tastes good together. It's just really good. The onions are like sweet in this mixture. I mean, onions are sort of sweet in general, but they go really well. This is the least sweet thing here. And the squash is really good with the rice mix. So, maybe don't do this unless you're doing it with somebody, but it's a good recipe. God, the seeds are so good. Like, look at these guys. Look at these little guys. So cool. Wow. So, this has been Autumn Fruit Reviews, episode 4. I'm Audrey. I hope you have a great day.